All right, today is Tuesday, February 12th, 2019. It's 1:12 hours here in regards to Internal Affairs case 2019-0013. Before we get started, we make a Garrett acknowledgement. Cleveland Division of Police is conducting an administrative investigation. The following are the basic known facts. The Internal Affairs Unit is conducting an investigation ordered by the Chief of Police. The investigation alleges that you were untruthful in your personal history statement when applying for the position of patrol officer for the Cleveland Division of Police. Before you get started, you, Sean Simmons, acknowledge the following. You've been informed of the nature of the allegations and the basic known facts prior to being interviewed on February 12, 2019. All City of Cleveland employees have the right to be accompanied, represented, and advised by a union representative and/or an attorney in any administrative interview. The information gained from this interview shall not be used against you in any criminal proceedings unless you fail to be truthful. If it is determined that during the statement to the investigator that you have been untruthful, criminal charges may result from that untruthfulness. You're being ordered to fully and truthfully answer all questions asked, and that your failure to do so could not only result in the sanctions above, but result from termination from employment. I'll sign this. You can sign it at the end. For record, we'll go around the room and introduce ourselves. My name is Sergeant Roger Stoudemire, Badge 9168, assigned to Internal Affairs.
Sergeant Mitchell Sheehan, Badge 9130, assigned to Internal Affairs.
Jeff Fulmer, 654, CPPA.
Jackson, 874, Black Shield Police Association.
Sean Simmons, Badge 378.
Keith Walgum, Youth Council, CPPA.
Okay. Patrol Officer Simmons, can you tell us right now, understand that you probationary officer, can tell you where your assignment is. So you don't have to sign it now.
Oh, don't you? Yeah.
You can sign it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. Where you're currently assigned to before
Third District.
Third District. What shift?
Second.
Okay. All right. The allegations here that you were untruthful on your personnel history statement when applying for the police department. Were you born in the United States?
Yes, sir.
And what city were you born in?
Riverside, California.
Are you currently a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
I understand that you lived in Norway. How old were you when you left to live in Norway?
About 8 months.
And how long did you live in Norway?
Up until 2015.
2015
Yeah,
is when you...
pretty much 35 years.
Okay, so did you return back to the United States any time before the time you went to live in Norway and returned to the United States?
Yes, vacations and stuff.
Just vacations. How often would you say you vacationed in the United States?
I was here sometime in like 99 or 2000. That was back in New York.
Okay, well, what about Cleveland?
I went to Cleveland, I want to say 2001. Met my family here for the first time then. And then I came back in like week in 2008, something like that, and maybe around 10, 11.
Okay. So between, you came for a couple times on vacation before you came back permanently in 2015?
Correct.
How many languages do you speak?
4.
What languages are those?
Norwegian, Swedish, Danish, and English.
Okay. How well do you speak English? You're fluent?
Like this? Yeah, fluent.
Okay. Do you consider English to be your first language, your main language? No. What's your...
Norwegian.
Norwegian. Let me back up. Did you work in public safety or any field while you were living in Norway?
Not public safety. I was a paramedic.
Paramedic, did that fall under public safety?
No.
Okay. How many police departments did you apply for employment when returning to the United States?
Before returning? Or
when you returned in 2015?
How many places?
Yeah, as far as police departments.
Probably like 4, maybe.
And all were in Ohio?
Yes.
and my understanding is that you were employed with 2 departments in the Northeast Ohio area.
Correct.
When applying for the Cleveland Division of Police, you filled out a personal history form. Did you understand the content and instructions on that form?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you know that any false information in a personal history statement form would disqualify you from being considered for employment for the Division of Police?
Yes.
So when you read the form, it was in English.
Correct.
You were familiar. You understood it, even though Norwegian is your main language. You understood what was being asked of you, and that any omission from the questions or non-acknowledgement would disqualify you.
Yes.
Okay. Here, I'll give you. Here, that's for you.
Good.
Here, I'm gonna give you that. That's a copy of your personal history form.
Yes, sir.
All right. Before we get started, if you go down to the middle of it, where it said, if it's responsibility, it is the responsibility of the applicant to ensure all information provided is accurate, complete, and truthful. Falsification, willful misrepresentation, or intentional omission of material information will result in disqualification and or termination from employment for the Division of Police. Mm-hmm. Unintentional failure to include information may also result in disqualification, but it may also be considered untruthfulness. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you should take necessary action to obtain all information, such as research criminal traffic, civil employment information, etc. Mm-hmm. So pretty much that was when you filled it out, you read through that.
Yes, sir.
And you signed it and dated of 2/10/2017, correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you turn to page 23 for me? So, 23 at the top is criminal history and arrest. Mm-hmm. If you go down to the bottom, as an adult, have you ever been arrested, received a criminal citation for a misdemeanor or traffic offense, or been subpoenaed or submitted to appear as a defendant in any criminal court proceedings? Mm-hmm. When you said when, you put NA, where you put NA, and what for you put an NA, and also you put no as the title. Mm-hmm. And it was a space where you can explain if so, mm-hmm. and you put NA. So have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
And where were you arrested at?
In Norway.
In Norway. And what were you arrested for in Norway?
Something that is called psychological conspiracy, psychological complicity to extortion.
Okay.
Something like that.
And how many times were you arrested in Norway?
One.
Just one time?
Yes, sir.
And did you serve any jail time in connection with that arrest?
Yes, sir.
How long did you serve in jail?
I was in jail for like 2 or 3 months.
Okay. And upon being released, were you put on any type of probation or anything of the such?
No, I don't think we had.
You don't have probation, nothing where you have to report?
No, it don't work.
Not a probation system. And that's your only arrest? You only got arrested one time? Mm-hmm. What about the incident where there was a kidnapping that came back, where you allegedly arrested for kidnapping?
Yeah, but that was dropped.
But were you arrested for it?
Oh, yeah.
You were arrested for it? Okay. And you said that was thrown out, so you didn't do any jail time?
Right.
What about an aggravated assault? Aggravated assault, 10/9/2015. Were you arrested for an aggravated assault?
2015.
2015 of October 9th.
No, I
You
don't
don't
think so.
You don't remember?
October 2015.
October 9th of 2015 in the district of Oslo. Is it Oslo?
Also?
Also,
Yeah.
Norway. Mm-hmm. You were arrested for aggravated assault. Was that? Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
But you do remember the case from November 17th of 2008 in the district of Agner? AGDER Norway,
Yes,
and that was the one that you. Excuse me. You said you went to jail for how long?
2 months.
2 months. And then, under those crimes, would that crimes be considered a misdemeanor or a felony, or do they have those type of?
I actually asked my lawyer about it, and he was like, "It's hard to say because we don't go under the same thing. We don't like do misdemeanor and felony type of thing." So
Okay.
I don't know. I think
Explain it to me. A traffic ticket here would fall under a minor misdemeanor or a misdemeanor offense. Do they still have the same offenses in Norway?
You would go to jail for like a traffic offense there.
Is it well, what would the classification be? Would it be a minor? Would it be a misdemeanor? Would it be a felony? What would be the classification?
I guess it would be minor,
Okay.
even though yeah.
Okay. But,
If you would do speeding, you would end up in jail for like 21 to 31 days.
okay. Now, is this something that you just purposely omitted when filling out the personal history form, as far as not being arrested?
Say that again, please.
Did you purposely omit? Did you purposely remove or not put on an application about your prior arrest back in 2008?
No.
But you did know, and you could recall that you were arrested at that time.
Correct.
So is it safe to say that by you checking no on the personal history statement form, that you neglected to inform the city of an incident in which you were actually arrested, correct?
At the time I was filling it out, I assumed it was here in the States.
You assume what was here in the States?
That my arrest record was from here in the States.
But there's nowhere in there that differentiates United States or abroad. It just says if you were arrested for any
Yes, sir.
criminal activity, that it's you should note it, correct? So you assume that by this form here that it only applied to crimes that would have been committed in the United States, but not outside. But you didn't think to ask or question any of the recruitment personnel about that before completing it?
I knew about the, obviously, what I was charged for in Norway.
Okay.
The case that I have in Norway is expunged, so they don't show up on my record there.
Okay.
So when I looked up the law here, it said I don't need to disclose anything that is expunged.
And what does that fall under? Because, applying for any job in public safety, especially law enforcement, that even though it's expunged, it can be open. We can review expunged.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, we can review any expunged, whether it's expunged or not. That's why there's no exception in there that mentions expungements.
Right.
Because any case, whether it's expunged or not, we have the access to review such findings.
Right.
And my understanding is that you went through and you were hired through other police departments. Did you notify them of any arrests that happened outside of the country?
No.
No. Do you have any social media, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still currently have those?
I don't have Facebook, but I have Instagram.
Okay. Why don't you have Facebook?
Because I deleted it.
Okay. Now, why did you suspend or delete your Facebook after being replaced on restricted duty? Because you had Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you remove your Facebook after being replaced on restricted duty?
I was worried about the media and all that.
He's worried about the media. So, is there anything? Can I ask you? Is there anything that you thought you were trying to hide by deleting the Facebook? Would this be your Facebook information? Would this be your first
Yes, correct.
issue?
Yep.
Okay. So you deleted it because you were worried about the media finding out. Are you associated or a member of a outlaw motorcycle group, the Norway Hells Angels?
No.
Do you have any associates?
Yeah, I got a friend that is with them.
Just one friend? How close of a friend would you consider this person to be?
Back in the days, he was really close. We grew up in the same area. Known him since I was like very young, probably like 7, 8-ish, maybe 9. So known my entire life. He rented my basement back in Norway.
Okay. So is he the only one?
hmm
Did he know you were a police officer in the States?
No.
He didn't know. How did he find out?
How he found out?
Yeah.
Picture.
Who?
Yeah, picture on Facebook.
Picture on Facebook?
hmm
Okay, so you never told him that you were coming into the States and that when you were here that you're a police officer?
Nope.
After returning to the States in 2015, did you stay in contact with him?
Not really.
Could I clarify something real quick?
Yes.
Just because there was kind of a compound question. Did your friend knew that you were moving to the States? Is that correct?
Yeah, he knew I was moving here.
Okay.
Okay.
But he didn't know you intended to become or had become a police
No,
officer.
correct.
Okay.
All right.
It's little, but
Yeah, no, that's
in
fine.
these times.
So it's safe to say that, you're admitting that you were arrested and convicted of a crime while living in Norway and you served jail time.
Correct.
And how much jail time did you say you served approximately?
I was in jail like 2 or 3 months.
Okay. And you said there's no probation system or anything as far as once you were released from jail?
Yeah, when I was released,
You was just
kinda
released?
done.
Okay. You got anything, Mitch?
Yeah, the extortion charge, what was the basis of it?
So they said because of my friend that was living in the basement, I should have had knowledge of everything that was, or had some knowledge of their attempt, and I didn't report it to the police.
What happened that caused that though? I mean, was there an incident? Did they do something?
Oh yeah.
What did they do?
So they went to some city south from where we live, and they extorted somebody.
Okay, and you weren't there at the time?
Nope.
Or were you with them? You didn't drive them there, nothing like
Nope. Nothing like that.
that? Okay, did you have any involvement with
No.
other than him being an associate and he was acting as a member of the Hells Angels when this happened?
No, he was. No, he was not part of.
He was not at the time?
No, not at the time.
Okay, but the government there said that you should have known that he was going to do it?
Yes.
And that's how you got tied into the case? Okay. And then you said that you were arrested for kidnapping, but they dropped the charge. What was the
Right.
basis of that arrest?
Somebody that fit my description back in Norway, because I had a long ponytail back in the days. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now you said you don't remember being arrested or charged with aggravated assault in October 2015.
No.
Were you in Norway in October 2015?
I think I was in the States
What
in
were
October.
you doing in 2015?
That's the year I moved here.
Okay, and how soon did you become a police officer after you moved here?
My first academy was in 16,
Okay,
so I believe September of 16.
okay. So you don't remember an aggravated assault charge
No.
in Norway? You're not sure you were in Norway at the time?
I'm pretty sure I was there in the States.
Okay, in October of 2015.
Correct.
And just out of curiosity, what would constitute, because the crimes seem a little different in Norway,
Right.
what would constitute an aggravated assault in Norway? For instance, here it's you cause serious physical harm in a sudden fit of passion.
Right.
I believe is the aggravated assault here. Is it the same there or is it different?
It would. It's hard, but it would be different because we don't have the different levels.
Right, here I think it's a 3rd-degree felony to commit an aggravated assault.
Right.
Is it less in Norway or is it more in Norway?
Sorry, say that again.
Is it like less of a crime in Norway? Is there a lesser standard for aggravated assault, or is it worse?
I really.
You're not sure. I was trying to read the laws in Norway, and it's
Right.
like coded like 1 through
Right,
goes all the way down.
It's kind of awkward because we have something that is called. So the Norwegian word for it would be like very, very minor. So if you would push somebody, that would be kind of like the mildest one.
That's an assault, like just a misdemeanor here. Then I don't
Right.
want assault. Okay.
If you would slap somebody, that would be the. So, yeah. So from just slapping somebody and
You could be charged with aggravated assault.
yeah, but now we don't have that aggravated part, so it's
Right.
awkward to kind of like explain it.
Okay.
But we kind of like, as far as I know, we kind of like separate between two ones, and the first one is like super minor, and the other one kind of like takes everything.
Okay.
What if you hit somebody with like just say a pole or something like it would be a felonious assault? You cause serious
It
physical
would
injury.
be exactly the
It
same.
would be so between slapping and hitting somebody with a pole, it'd be kind of the same.
Yes. So for the very minor one, or everything above the very minor one, everything would go in there. So if you hit somebody with a gun or a bat or whatever, it would all be the same kind of like crime there.
It all fall under that one category
Right.
of assault.
Right. And then I believe when they're gonna kind of like sentence you for jail time, then they see like how serious it was, but the charge would be the same still.
So there's no,
Yeah,
there's no plea deal where like they plead it down to a lesser charge.
No, we don't.
If you get found guilty of a certain crime, you get found guilty, and then does the judge determine then like how serious it was?
Right.
Okay.
We don't operate with a jury like we do here and that stuff.
Okay. Now, would you with the extortion charge that you were found guilty of, were you concerned that had you put that on your application that you wouldn't have been
No,
hired?
no, not at all.
That didn't concern you?
No.
How much jail time did your associate get?
One got, I think the lead guy got like 4 years.
Okay.
And how many total was it
That
that
did
was
it?
involved in this incident?
Maybe like 6.
And everybody got arrested and went to jail.
Yes.
Everybody did jail time.
As far as I remember, yes.
All right. Just on a quick wrap up, you applied for the Cleveland Division of Police and in the personal history statement form. You understood what was asked of you to do as far as fill out the form. You answered everything, but when we get to page 23 and it comes to the criminal history, you check no knowingly because you perceive that the question asked only pertained to crimes that happened in the United States, not Norway.
Yes, sir.
Right. But you knew that you had been arrested and been convicted of a crime in Norway,
Yes,
which
sir.
was considered a felony as far as our statute and what was presented to us from Norway.
Right.
Okay. And you carried on. You didn't excuse me. You didn't think to question or ask anyone in regards to just omitting that information, knowing that it happened.
No.
Yeah.
Just in your summary, I think, in talking to him before, I think the expulsion in Norway also went with his train of thought why he would answer that no too.
As far as being expunged.
Expunged, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think he wasn't untruthful, but I think he had multiple reasons why he thought he shouldn't. And I get the question reads the way it is, but I think I want to make sure that I'm getting everything out that we talked about. His train of thought was with the expulsion and the American. You thought it was American.
Okay. So by you had this expunged in Norway, you thought it was just sealed and it couldn't be opened. Whether you came back here, you thought it was just pretty much gone. It was a sealed
Right.
conviction.
Because, I brought a document from Norway, but
Okay.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So when it's kind of like 3 jobs in Norway that is kind of like very strict when it comes to background. And it's teacher, because you work with kids, and paramedic, because you work with kids and drugs, and it's police officer.
Okay.
So those jobs can kind of like or they require like a thorough background check.
Okay.
So because I became a paramedic in 2013,
Okay.
I believe, and when I did a background check, it was clean. So that is 6 years after. So I got the job and everything, and on the paper. Now this is obviously Norwegian, but
So what you're saying is you applied to get a job in Norway that has a stricter background investigation, and by your record being sealed,
right,
you thought that by being sealed that you got the job. You thought that was
right,
it was done.
right,
And when you came here, by you getting hired there, clearing their background check, you assumed by coming to the States that it would suffice when you applied here.
right,
Okay.
right.
But you didn't think to just check yes and explain it on the.
No, because so in Norway, when anything is expunged, they tell us do not put it there
And when you
Because-
apply for
jobs.
okay.
Because that's kind of like the reason for the expungement, because it's kind of like expunged.
okay.
So they keep telling us if you have anything, don't disclose it. So when I looked up the law here, also the only thing I could find was by law you do not need to disclose it. And then I read other pages from Ohio, and it said they kept explaining the reason, and it was pretty much the same as in Norway.
Okay.
Why you should not disclose it, or why you do not legally need to disclose it.
Did they inform you that applying for a law enforcement or any public safety job, that is something that you have to reveal because it will be discovered during a background check?
I didn't see it there. I got all the paperwork here that it says in this.
Okay. So that was the reason for you not putting it on your personal history form, because you had applied for a job in which in Norway, which they did a thorough background, and it never came up.
Correct.
And
Because most jobs in Norway can't even require a background check.
they don't require.
Right. Most are not legally allowed to require it.
Okay, but for like you said, teacher
And paramedic and like police.
and police, they require one.
Right.
Okay. And you didn't think it was an issue. It wasn't an issue with the other departments that you applied for when you were working for, actually.
Right.
The Put-in Bay and Lindale. So it wasn't an issue there. It just became an issue on Cleveland.
Correct.
And as far as having an association with...
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So for Lindale and Put-in Bay, they also do like background investigation. And I assume like because they don't get anything back from Norway is because when you go kind of like directly to Norway and whatever, because it's disclosed, they don't give it up. Give it up because it is already
Because it was sealed.
not expunged. I mean, sorry.
Expunged. Okay. All right. Okay, I see what you're saying. You say since they went through and did the background, you're saying they never got anything back from the country of Norway because the record was sealed.
Correct.
So you just assumed that everything was fine. Now, when you filled out those applications, did you notify them that you had been arrested?
No.
No. Okay. And as far as the affiliation with the motorcycle gang, you say you were not a member,
Right.
or associate,
Right.
prospect, or any of that.
No.
You were just associate. You're associates of members.
Right. So this is kind of like a little awkward thing because Hells Angels are extremely racist. But my friend that is in there, he's obviously white Norwegian, but he known me since elementary. So he's are kind of like still friends with me. After he moved out of my house is when he got into Hells Angels. And he kind of like followed that line. And after that, we haven't talked that much, but yeah, we talk every now and then, like briefly, like, hey, how are you? How is everything? Kind of, but they don't allow kind of like black people at all. It's
What would you consider your nationality, your ethnicity?
black.
You're black. Okay. And you said they don't accept any non-whites
Not even remotely.
remotely. Okay. And in the Norwegian Hells Angel, would you consider to be a violent? Would they be violent?
No, I think it's different here. No,
Are they more of a social club?
I think most of them have probably been in jail. They got tattoos on their faces a little bit, but most of them are actually working people. Like everybody has like a job and everything like that.
Okay.
So, and then when I came here, I heard it's kind of like a different story.
Different story on Hills Angels. Okay, so no affiliation. You just associate. You're a friend within a member, and you went one way, he went one way, but you would
Correct.
talk occasionally, and that's how you would kind of be somewhat associated because you had a friendship with a member.
Right.
Okay. And as far as your Facebook account, you shut your Facebook account down the day that you were placed on restricted duty because you didn't want the media
Right.
to blow everything up out of proportion.
Right.
All right.
People at my work also were like, if media finds out about this, they're going to go through your Facebook and they're going to mess you up.
All right. You just
And everybody were like, you should, if you have it open still, just
shut it down.
shut it down.
Okay.
Delete it. You don't need it. You're just going to be a
But
headache
you
for
have your Twitter and Instagram.
I don't have Twitter. I got Instagram.
Instagram. Was there another?
Well, I actually probably have Twitter, but I don't use it.
Okay, but you still have Instagram that you
Yes,
communicate.
but I don't use that neither.
Okay. Anything?
I'm good.
Anything? Sir?
Of course. I just want to. I'm not sure the record was clear at the time that you were arrested on the extortion issues.
Mm-hmm.
You were at that time a teacher, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Don't have anything. We'll conclude this. It is 1:44. Thanks.